And hello, everyone. This is Andrew McKee with Fair Life on Monday evening. Woohoo! A lot of fun, a lot of craziness. Never boring. Not here. So, I've got an interesting treat for you tonight because guess what? I'm not alone tonight. No, it's true. I know. You're thinking, wait a minute, there's somebody else? Okay, well, here you go. Now, who I have with me is Lee. This is where you say hello.
Hi.
Okay. To say hello to everybody and also to make sure the audio is working. Not that I'm paranoid, but I'm paranoid, so we went with it.
Right, y'all can hear me okay, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody's okay. Hello. Hello, Janine, Diana, Jan, Kristen, everybody. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. So it is. What do you think of the new look? I mean, I since I was getting Lee on the show tonight, I thought, well, let's go ahead and spruce up the graphics. I was planning on doing that anyway. So yeah, but yeah. What do you think? So let me know. I'm really curious if it looks better to you. Kristen already says that the background feels like that she's inside Spaceship Earth at Epcot, and I'm going to be honest, that's exactly what I was going for. Not gonna lie, that's exactly what I was going for. So yeah. Oh, Lee is louder than Andrew. Well, that's always been true, honestly. I mean, here I'll lower a little bit just to be sure. So yeah. Oh, it is. So thank you. Yeah, Jan says she likes it, so I'll take that as a affirmative. It's gonna be. It's a little different, and I like that. Something to spruce it up because before, let's be honest, it was a little dry. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, right, Lee? It wasn't horrible.
No, it wasn't horrible.
Wow. Yes, this is what I have to deal with. She does have high standards. You see,
I
you're
do.
actually going to get to see the interaction and see her make fun of me in real time. So there's not going to be any delay with her comments this time.
It is going to be a live version of our
Yes.
back and forth. I think
Yeah.
everybody will enjoy it.
It's going to be a bit different. It is going to be a bit different for sure. For sure. So yeah. Yeah, let's see. Okay, here we go. I fixed something on my mic real quick because I noticed I was not in real mono, and we can't have that.
No.
No. So I think this will be better. So yeah, it has. Oh, and Aaron says hello and says that says they like the new background, so that's always good.
Oh, good.
I always like
So, wait, in
it.
case you guys are wondering who's in the comments tonight, since it's not me.
No,
That's
you're
our
you're not playing double duty. What? I thought that was you the
No,
whole
I'm
time. Seriously?
not. I'm not. That's our lovely new staff member, our lead enabler, Alicia.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody
Nice.
tell her hi. Y'all treat her right.
So yes. So wow. So does that mean you're going to be in more videos now, Lee?
I don't know if we're gonna go that far.
Totally put her on the spot there because I can. It's great. Gotta love it.
Yeah, I don't know if we're
Wonderful.
gonna go that far, but wait, maybe I should.
Maybe you should.
I don't know. I mean, somebody's gonna keep you straight.
Good luck with that.
It is a full-time job.
Yeah, right. Just a little. Just a little. So yeah. I think. Well, okay. First, I guess we should probably. Drew is asking if she's been warned about him. She's been in the comments for a while, so
She's seeing. She knows.
yeah,
She
is
knows.
well aware of
Yeah.
you, Drew. I'm sorry. That's yeah, that secret's out, man. I appreciate that you're trying to fly under the radar there, but I don't think it's going to work here.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, definitely not. But yeah, I do want to talk a little bit about a little bit. Oh my god.
The comments are fun tonight.
She likes the memes apparently.
She does.
Okay. And it's just thinking of Robert Downey Jr., I think of him back long before the Avengers and everything, back in the 90s and the 80s, Robert Downey Jr., and that was a very different
It
Robert
was a
Downey Jr.
very different Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Member of the Brat Pack from those classic days. So yeah, yeah. I did want to start and talk a little bit about our last gathering of Faire on Thursday, because that's usually where we start, and I think it's a good place because it was a brilliant show. I really liked it. Let's go ahead and do the screen shift. I really like the screen shift. Here we go. Whoa!
Ooh.
Gotta make it fancy. Always gotta make it fancy. So yeah. This is Gathering Faire. We had Paulo Garbanzo and the Mud Squad, and you've been really wanting to do a mud show for a while, right, Lee?
I have. That was one of the first things I said as soon as we started doing Gathering Your Fair. I was like, we have to have a mud show on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, find me a mud show. We've got to do a mud show.
And we looked around and we realized that there was one major ingredient to doing a mud show: mud.
Yeah.
And
mud.
all the fairs were closed early on, and there was not an easy way for people to do their mud show. Everybody had gone to different ends of the country and everything, so yeah, it wasn't practical. So we were just biding our time, waiting in the wings, looking at different mud shows, saying, are they gonna? No. Are they gonna? Oh, no. Maybe. And we, found a mud show at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, and which is great because it's the guy who wrote the show, Tommy, is a friend of mine who I know from Louisiana Ren Fair and other fairs, and it's really, really cool to see him in that because I'd never seen his mud show before. So they only do it at Pennsylvania, and I haven't been to that fair.
Well, that was a brand new stage. They had just finished building it right before the fair opened.
That is true, and they've been doing the mud show there for a while, though. Mm-hmm. I mean, on an older stage, but yeah, I still had never seen their show, so that was kind of cool, and it was great to see a mud show. And I noticed that a few of y'all watching had never seen a mud show before, and it really surprised me because I realized that not many. I mean, there's a lot. Everybody associates mud shows with Ren fairs, but unless you happen to go to a fair that has one, you've probably never seen one.
That's very true. That's very true. I'd actually, I think I'd been doing fairs for a solid 5 years before I ever saw a mud show.
Yeah. It had been a while for me, and I think I've only seen there's 6 mud shows going around the country or something like that, and
sounds about right.
I think I'd only seen 2 of them so far.
This was the first time I gotten to see the Mud Squad.
Yeah, totally.
I've seen 2 other shows, but this is the first time I had seen these guys.
The Mud Squad they've had mud shows there for many years, but the Mud Squad itself started in 2006. Which, little trivia, I found out one of the people that started it was one of the members of the Washing Well Winches.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either. Little trivia about an upcoming podcast with Tommy that I interviewed. I found out a lot.
See, I haven't heard the episode yet. Mm-hmm. You have an advantage on me.
Yes. Drew is saying that Excalibur had an interesting take on a mud show. You're not wrong.
Oh,
you are not wrong. Yeah,
sense a story. Is this a story I need to hear off the air?
Sometimes it rained. A lot. Oh wow, but no, mud show, if you didn't see it, go take a look. And then Paulo Garbanzo is just brilliant comedian and juggler, and the beautiful thing about that is we got it filmed at the fair with 60 frames per second, so you get to see the detail, and when he throws,
you can
the
see the individual pins as they're moving. It's amazing.
I mean, on the upload, I had to convert it back to 30 frames per second because that's all they accept. But it's a huge difference. If you record it at 30, it doesn't get everything clearly, but that's real time. But when you're doing a conversion, it works a lot cleaner and looks a lot better. So yeah,
Right.
it was definitely one of the best. In some ways, one of the best videos we've ever had here,
I
because of
agree.
that extra quality, and that was
I
really
agree.
cool. And a special thanks to Carmel for recording that.
Yes. Thank you
Going
so
up to
much.
Pennsylvania, she was really awesome for doing that for us. So yes. The conversations going on in Facebook now are freaking hilarious to me. Yeah. First of all, they're talking about who's the oldest, and
Oh God.
they say, "Oh no, I
Well,
feel
wait,
old." No,
isn't that
no, you got
you?
nothing. No,
Sorry.
no, it's not. Thank you very much. Drew was making a good bid for it, but Jan, cut him off really quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, and Drew is talking about the mud show at Excalibur and saying about that whole scripting concept. Well, they just didn't. They just had a mud show, which is, I think at that point you almost called a mud bath, when you just kind of
Right.
jump in and act goofy. Uh, oh, and Carol saying about the Shakespeare Review shows how much she likes them because she hasn't seen most of those movies. Well, thanks, Carol.
Oh,
I appreciate
good.
that.
Yeah,
That's
very
really
appreciated.
that's really cool to hear, and that actually leads us into the next bit of information. Oh, here we go. Shakespeare Reviews. You see the transition there? See the
I
transition?
did. I
See what
saw
I did?
it. I
Yeah.
saw it.
Oh yeah. Totally did that. That was me. Yeah. I still have some tweaking to do with this, but I think so far it's looking good. It's looking good. And so Shakespeare Reviews. The last Shakespeare review on Friday was what was it again, Lee? What was it?
It was Much Ado About Nothing.
She remembered.
I
I
do
tried to get her, and
remember.
she remembered. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
okay. So much ado
we've been
about nothing.
talking about it quite a lot lately, since that was the upcoming movie.
Yeah, yeah. Much ado about nothing. Great, wonderful movie. Both Will and I loved it. It was. I mean, a spoiler, I know, but I mean, come on. If one of us didn't like the movie, I mean, y'all really should hate us. So I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it right now. It's a great film.
Yeah.
If nothing else, to make sure that you watch it. But yeah, definitely check out the episode if you haven't already. And if you haven't seen the movie yet, oh my gosh, please go check out the movie and then check out the episode, because it is worth.
I'm trying to remember. I think we figured out last week that it's available on Amazon Prime if you have Prime.
Yes, it's on Amazon.
We couldn't
Prime.
find it on any of the other services, but we did find it on Prime.
Well, that's why there are so many services, because heaven forbid that everything's on one.
And Elisha just shared the link to the most recent episode in the comments if you're looking for it.
Excellent. And Drew's asking when we're going to be doing Forbidden Planet. And believe it or not, very soon.
It's on the list.
A few more weeks and you'll have Forbidden Planet, Drew. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, yeah. Because it's classic. And don't worry, that was my choice. I picked that one because, yeah, The Tempest. I mean, come on. So yeah, gotta love that one. Gotta love that one. Now, Much Ado. It is such a good, such a good movie, and I love doing these Shakespeare reviews with Will. It's so much fun. Having both of our perspectives on it, and I love movies, and I've seen a lot, and Jan's mentioning that right now. Not everyone has Andrew's movie collection. It is true.
He has an epic movie collection.
And
it's filed by year and goes back to like 1900.
It's, some people might think that I had no life. And of course they'd be wrong.
Okay.
That was your cue to say something, Lee. Come on. Back me up here.
Oh, me? No,
yeah.
No.
Damn it. Okay. Yeah. Well. So yeah. It's no. I let's just say that different people handle depressed times. Some people overeat. Some people just sleep too much. I watched way too many movies. So I've gone through enough breakups. I've seen a ton of movies. So that's really my excuse right there. So yeah. Horrible at dating. Really smart with movies. That's my ammo right there. So
Yeah, that sounds about right
Yeah, I
to
knew she wouldn't.
me.
I knew she wouldn't say no to that one. That's yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate. It's very
And
accurate.
Jan says she made the kids watch Much Ado when they were in elementary school, and that's great. And Will and I make the comment in our review that more schools, it's surprising more schools don't show that one because it's such a really good movie and a good example of a Shakespeare play done in movie form. And, you know, a little more innocent than the scandalous Romeo and Juliet nudity scene. So, yeah, that most high schoolers are shocked by. It's almost a rite of passage, like the Miracle of Life film. Still have chills. And Kristen says movies will never break your heart. Oh wait,
Say I beg to
yeah,
differ.
yeah. I've gotten better about not taking movies as seriously. I'll put it that way. You know, you gotta.
I don't think I have. It takes a lot for a movie to really get me,
Mm-hmm.
but what if they do, they do.
Ah, well, well, you know, movies for me, TV shows still get me sometimes when they, you know, go through and then they have this great cliffhanger at the end of the season and then they cancel it, and I just want to, you know, really destroy networks because of it.
Yeah.
But movies, I'm kind of like, okay, you have a beginning and an end. You made some choices. Sometimes I think they were the wrong choices. They don't break my heart, but they make me want to yell at the director, producer, cinematographer, whoever's responsible. Um,
Now there's one movie that gets me every time. It's a particular scene in a particular movie, and I'm not one to cry at movies. It's just not my thing. Like
okay.
I'll feel the emotion of the scene, but it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
like make me cry.
Sure, go ahead.
Shadowlands, every time. And if you've ever seen Shadowlands, you know the scene I'm talking about. If any of you guys have seen it, you got to chime in and back me up. I'll cry like a baby every time towards the end of the movie when he's sitting on the bed with his stepson. Just
Wow.
gets me.
Okay,
Gets me.
okay. And Kristen throws in the whole Last Unicorn, which I think,
Oh,
yeah, that's a good
yeah.
example.
Yeah, The Last Unicorn.
I'm
I
trying
can
to
hold it together for The Last Unicorn though, but I
I'm trying to
cannot for
think of
Shadowlands.
there's the oddest cry moment for me, by far, is the ending to the movie Patton.
What?
I know, it's really bizarre, but at the end, you know, they go through this whole like it's a war movie, you know, talk World War II and this
Yeah.
whole process, and then at the end, he's just walking among windmills in the almost in a Don Quixote-esque way in the hills, and he starts just doing a narrative voiceover and talks about, you know, how Roman conquerors were treated when they came back home from their conquered territories, and how they were just you know, led through the city in a parade, and, you know, with a lot of detail and how it all took place and transpired, and, you know, the whole organizational structure of it and the parade and everything. And then he goes into, and, you know, on sometimes his close family members would be on a chariot with him or on chariots alongside him, and then behind him would be a slave holding a crown just above his head, and for the entire time whispering in his ear that all glory is fleeting. And it just, yeah, I mean, and it's the poignant whole moment of him walking through the hills and then gradually, and it's just kind of like, wow. I mean, this whole kind of like, it almost has a life is meaningless kind of aspect of it when you've got this whole emotional up and down ride in a war movie, and it was so bizarre at the time, and it really hit me. So,
Okay, I can see that.
so yeah, I mean, it's a weird one. I know it's totally weird. I mean, it's like,
That I would have lost that bet if
I know,
you
right?
know.
Right? But every
But
time,
but
every
I can
time,
see what
tears.
you're saying, Brad.
I had to actually fight it a little bit while I was describing it. It's really, I mean, it's weird.
See, that's how I feel about Shadowlands.
Mm, mm, mm.
So,
Ah, and Kristen
but you
says
know,
she just read the Overneath. Okay. And yeah, Drew was talking about Peter Beagle. Yeah, I mean, he's a very interesting guy. I got to meet him at Dragon Con because when I was playing music with Mark Gunn with the Brobdingnagian Bards, I introduced one of the songs from The Last Unicorn. The one on the last page, actually, was always a favorite of mine, and we put music to it and played it and got his permission, and he was really nice about it. We got to play it for him there, and he's really, yeah, really great guy. Loves music and a really nice guy. I love Peter Beagle. Yeah, excellent. Excellent. So yeah, that movies. Hmm. Yeah. Gotta love that. Gotta love it. Yeah, I mean, so do you like sad movies, or do you do you prefer like happy ones or joyous, or movies that you don't have to think about on, like action films, or just I mean, or comedies, or I mean, what is your favorite genre of film?
I don't actually have a favorite genre film. So it depends on my mood. It depends on what I am trying to
Ooh.
accomplish with the watching. So, but I do tend to be drawn more towards probably action or suspense. Not like scary movies, but suspenseful movies. To me, there's a massive difference.
Okay. Okay. Huh.
Yeah. But, comedy, all of that, it just depends on what a good movie is a good movie. How
I'm the
about that?
same exact way. I mean, I
Yeah.
love a good comedy. I love a good drama. I love a good action film. I mean, it just depends. I don't like horror. I don't do horror. Horror's bad.
I'm a super hit or miss on horror. Most of the time, it's just, I don't know. I find them boring or just,
Yeah.
I can't suspend my disbelief,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
belief enough.
It's usually boring, or it's stupid. Like some of the
Right.
slasher films are just like, oh please.
It's like, why
Um,
would you go in there?
yeah. Yeah.
Don't
The
go
people
in
are
there.
acting stupid. The whole
Oh,
otherworldly aspect is.
what was that movie that was basically a parody of horror movies, but it was actually kind of a serious movie?
Scream?
No, Cabin in the Woods. Is that it?
Oh, well, that was. I mean, yeah, that was kind of both. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
serious
it
and
was parody and not parody at the same time. I actually liked that one. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I did see that one, believe it or not, and
Yeah.
it was.
I like the tongue-in-cheek nature of it. That it
Yeah.
knew what it was and it embraced it.
I mean, you almost have to go over the top for me to be okay, like Army of Darkness.
Right. Oh, I love Army of Darkness.
Like Evil Dead and Evil Dead
Yeah,
2.
the whole Evil Dead
not
franchise.
not really me, honestly. It's a little,
No.
it's not quite there, but Army of Darkness, they took it a bit further.
They leaned into the camp pretty
they
hard.
really did.
I
And,
do like that.
and they also added some really good actors in there too.
They
which
did. They
so
did.
They upped that a level. And yeah, Universal horror is the tops, according to Alicia. Which
Yes.
I get that.
Oh,
the classic monster
okay.
films.
She just mentioned Dale and Tucker versus Evil, or Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Sorry, I said it backwards. I love that movie. The movie's amazing.
Little comedy evil.
Yeah, I like camp. I think that's when it comes to horror movies. I actually like camp. But I used to watch, like the worst horror films ever with my grandmother. That was like our thing. Like Catch Up Blood and the whole nine yards. She introduced me to movies like the Blob. First of all, The Birds. A lot of the old classics, but then it went into well, no. It went then we got into like Ghoulies and what's the one with the little creature that comes out of the toilet? Is that Ghoulies?
Yeah, that's Ghoulies. I think.
Right, yeah. Oh God, what was
Ghoulies
the other
and Gremlins
one?
and
Yeah, Gremlins, all of the but some Plan 9 from Outer Space. That was another one I used to watch with her.
That's not exactly a film. That's a documentary on how
Right.
not to do a film.
Right.
I mean, I think.
The greatest. But yeah, we used to stay up late and watch like weird bad movies together. Well, not always horror, but just weird bad movies.
Yeah, I
do have a love of bad movies. It's kind of a weird thing.
I understand, and I'm totally dating myself now, but a few people watching will get this reference. But when I was a young kid, there was this thing on TV, USA Up All Night with
I remember
Rhonda
that.
Shear. Remember? And Gilbert Gottfried did it for a while, and that was where they'd show these horrible B movies.
Oh, they were the greatest.
And
I used to stay up and watch it. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Tracy just mentioned Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Absolutely.
Well, What We Do in the Shadows and Shaun of the Dead. That's not really horror.
No, those are well, comedy horror. Like Kristen said.
I guess it's almost like they so avoided the whole concept of being sick or horrific in any way. I mean, it's tough for me to even consider it horror. Right. It's not like a horror movie with comedy. It's more like a comedy that happens to be set in horror.
Yeah.
I'm so sensitive
I
to
don't
horror.
know.
Believe me, I have those levels. I'm so.
You do. Okay, I will
Okay.
give you that. You
I'm not saying that's
really
how
do
everybody
not
should
like
think of it.
horror
That's
movies.
how.
I
Yeah.
I will totally give you that.
Oh gosh, and Alicia's suggesting that the two of us do an MST3K like viewing of movies.
I don't know. That
Well,
maybe.
aside from the whole legality issue, and I've been
Right,
trying to
that's
figure out the
why I
best
said
way to
maybe.
stream movies and do like movie watching parties with all of y'all and everything, but finding the at least a moderately legal way to do it has been a challenge. Um,
A big one. We've
uh,
been looking for over a
yeah,
year now. Actually, that the idea of doing that predates Life's Affair.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's tough. I mean, there were a few options that were just on the fringe of you could get away with it, but and I'm not sure. I think the best way is to really find a solid way to put it on my own server and host it ourselves and not have any third party and be able to say that it's
Okay,
all
you need
just
to
us.
hush your mouth because you are removing my plausible deniability here. Like, shh,
What?
hush.
Theoretically speaking, of course.
Killing me.
But I don't know if that's possible on a realistic way. I mean, that's
I don't think it
okay
is.
for like a few people watching it, but if you start getting to 15 or 20 people, I don't know if that's even possible. So, but it's interesting.
But the second we figure out a way to do it,
yeah,
we're
the second
definitely
we
going to do it.
yeah, if we can figure
It's
out a
going to
good way,
happen.
because that just needs to happen. It really
It does. It would be fun.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I mean, even if it wasn't MST3K, just to watch a movie and chat about it. But yeah, an MST3K special would be kind of cool too. I don't know if I could find anything snarky to say about a movie, but I'd try.
Maybe.
Well, the tough thing for us is that we've had so much going on.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So much going on that it is insane. I mean, to try to do all this stuff. I mean, we have so many ideas, and so much of it we have to put on the back burner or put it on the list and try to get to it. And now that Alicia's with us, that hopefully that'll help a little bit. But
She has no idea what she got herself into.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Kristen says she wants to do the puppets.
Okay, I would be down for that.
I actually do have puppets that I could use for, I could do that.
I've got 2 here at the house.
Nice.
I do.
Nice.
I have Wayne Cooley.
I think I only have like 7 or 8. They're from when I was a kid, but they still work.
Yeah.
2 of them are sock puppets, but they're still good. Yeah. Okay. Well, with that being said, there are, I think this kind of takes us into our next moment, which is 7 reasons.
7 reasons.
Yeah. 7 reasons. Now, the 7 reasons we have is 7 reasons why we would go back in time to do Life's Affair differently. I mean, admittedly, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but you did it perfectly. Why would you even consider going back in time?
So perfect. So perfect. Every move we made.
No reason at all to do that. I know this. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Totally. I mean, I get
Yeah.
it. But, if you're just doing that, I mean, I mean, okay, let's say if we were to go back in time,
Right.
and
As you do.
and redo this and do things a little differently. Okay, let's go with this. Number 7 on the list. Okay, number 7.
All right. All right.
Have days off. Oh my God, yes.
What are days off?
That's that mythical thing where you have nothing to do for a day.
What?
I know. It means that whole schedule that we write and we just keep doing again
No.
and again and again and it never ends.
No.
We just say, let's just This is over here. I don't know what happened to that. It's just over
Wait,
here.
wait. You're telling me that's real?
It's like okay, I had a schedule in this hand, but then I got interested in this hand over here, and this I don't know what happened to that. But then this hand, I'm like, okay, now I'm sorry, I'm quoting Gilbert Gottfried again. It just popped in my head from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just happens. But yeah, I mean that's really I think it was.
No, next you're gonna tell me vacations are a real thing.
That they should be. They should be. Let's discuss this.
No,
I think this deserves some serious
I don't know about
discussion.
all this. I don't know about all this.
Okay, seriously, we really have not had much in the way of days off. I mean, we took a couple of like moments where we slept for 2 straight days because if we hadn't, we would have probably had to go to a hospital or something.
Right. But there was actually that moment.
That
in
was
the
more
beginning.
preventative maintenance.
Right.
Filled with desperation. But just to have a regular day off, where it's just like I could do this,
cool.
I could do that, you know. I mean, do like regular people do?
Yeah.
No. So definitely, if we were to do it again, go back. We would make sure that we had days off. I think that was
days off would be awesome.
Maybe a little bit of a mistake, maybe not, but you know, maybe a little bit of
Maybe
we'd figure out how to do that. Okay, number 6, tutorials early on. I mean,
definitely.
Lots of tutorials early on to help performers. And I mean, lot of what we ended up doing was we'd work with a performer who was trying to get a show together for us. And I would contact them live. I'd sometimes remote into their computer and work on it and set things up. And we'd spend hours doing that a one-on-one.
I think a lot of people who've been on our channel have walked away with like tuned up computers because of that.
Probably.
Yeah.
And you talked with people about promotion and how to set up how to promote the shows and how to promote on Facebook and how to do all
everybody
this stuff.
who comes on our channel gets a copy of a document I created based on those early conversations and that we're constantly adding to. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you did more of a tutorial than I did in that respect because you had a sheet. I ended up just doing it for them a lot of the time. And I'd teach them a bit and they would help.
It was easier with the tech side. A lot of times it was just easier for you to go in and remote in and do what you needed to do.
I mean, and I wish I'd had time to do some tutorials because I think, and we are working on that. We're looking on doing a lot of tutorials. There's a lot in the works and some of them will be coming pretty soon, actually.
There's actually going to be some online courses coming based on some of the tech things that Andrew does on that side of the house and probably some marketing stuff as well.
Always good. Okay, number 5. No Pants Monday.
You have been trying to get this to make this a thing forever.
Well, for me, it's a thing right now. I just want to make it official.
Oh, I assumed.
I mean, come on. You think I'm like? I mean, come on. You think I'm just like? I mean, the top side. Yeah, it's like oh yes, I'm ready to but no. This is like No Pants Monday. Sorry, this is. Come on. No. If you don't have to, why would you? And especially during the whole COVID thing, No Pants Monday should be a thing.
I'll take it under consideration.
Okay. See, Alicia doesn't think people even wear pants on Monday. See, and it's not an official thing, but it should be. It should be.
Okay, does the fact that I like mostly wear just leggings count? Are those real pants? So we're gonna get into that whole argument. I mean, I basically hang out in gym clothes all the time. Either that or overalls.
I mean, there's being, I don't know. That just seems like overkill. I mean, that's still like putting things on. I mean, for me, I just like wake up and then I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I don't have to put on pants. I don't have to put on leggings.
All right. But you do put a clean shirt on.
Usually. No, I do. I do put a clean shirt on. But it's just, I mean, this is one of the best things about this year is that it's allowed a lot of us to be more laid back. And I think we should embrace that. We should embrace that. Yes.
All right. Well, like Cameron says, kilts.
That's still effort. I really, okay. I know where you're coming from, and certainly if you had to, okay, a kilt is certainly better. But if you don't, I mean, come on. Yeah, just relax. Yeah.
I think I need to increase my stash of cool like lounge pants.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, you totally. This is a good excuse to do it. You should.
Yeah.
Totally should. Totally should.
Well, maybe I'll start wearing my Wookiee jammies to work.
Nice.
Especially now that I know Alicia has some too.
Yep. Get the matching Wookiee jammies. That's a good idea.
That's gonna happen at a meeting one day.
Now that we have Alicia with us, there's the whole number 4, which we should have done earlier. Started with staff.
Oh God, the things we could have done.
I know. Just imagine.
Oh God. There are so many projects that would be way ahead. There's so much content we could have created. Like we would be light years from where we are right now. Even with everything that we've managed to accomplish on our own, if we had staff, I mean, just night and day.
Yep. And I think it's a shame. I understand why it didn't happen, but I think if we were to do it again, we would have pushed for it and made it happen.
We would have.
We were very overwhelmed and just trying to get through and get the stuff done ourselves. And I get it.
Yeah.
But
well, and the beginning was especially rough since a lot of people may not know this. I had COVID when we launched. And so those first couple of weeks were really rough, trying to make everything happen because I was sick and having a hard time. So, but we managed to get through it. I don't know how, but we did. But if we'd have had staff, God, it just, there's so many things I could have thrown at them, and there are so many things that we would be doing better at. Okay, wait, I'm seeing something here. We're going to have a Wookiee party. Are you seeing these comments?
Yeah, Wookiee Jammy Day.
Yeah, we're going to have a Wookiee Jammy Day.
Wow. Okay. Well, Wookiee Jammy Days are always options. Yeah. I mean, hey, sometimes you just have to let the Wookiee win.
Yep.
Had to go there. So, yes. So, number 3. This is a big one. Started a whole heck of a lot sooner.
Yes.
I mean, it was more like, we have a pandemic. Let's start a new business.
Yeah. Well, that's not quite.
That's not what happened, but it's kind of what happened. It's not what we planned to happen, but that's what happened.
No, it's not. Because we decided back in
last year.
Yeah, it was like October, November, somewhere. Something like that.
Well,
somewhere last fall.
You got to realize we have we start a conversation and it's a rough idea, and then then we have another conversation. It's like, maybe we should do this, and you're, okay, maybe we should do that, and it just keeps manifesting in different ways until. So it's tough to say exactly when it's.
Well, I think we got to the point where it was like, cool, we're going to do a podcast called Life's a Faire in like October, November-ish last year, about a year ago. And we had all those conversations leading up to, and then it just kind of focused at that point.
Yeah.
And then it was December when we decided, all right, we're going to take our time. We're going to do this thing right. We're going to have all this advanced work done. We're not going to launch till like August, September timeframe.
Those are the days.
Right?
Those naive,
innocent
days.
We were so naive.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
Back when the world was sweet and young.
Yeah. Back when the world was new and people had hope in politics. Those were the days. I know. But we've... I mean... It was one of those very reactionary things where we need something, we need to get going, we need to help performers, we need to get this started now, so let's do it. And
we made the decision to launch in 24 hours. I know we've told that story before.
Yeah.
And we just, we were just like, all right, let's go, whatever.
Insanely proud of what we'd accomplished, but still, Would have been
Yeah.
love to have started it back in October, November or something. Had a few months to kind of lay the
Find our
groundwork and
feet.
foundation, and then kind of said, okay, we're doing this every week now. We've got a staff, and we've got all these, we've got all these important things set up. We've got tutorials already going. No Pants Monday is a thing. I mean, all of these important things already in place. And then all of a sudden that would have happened, and we've been like, okay, well, let's just expand and keep doing this. And
Right.
it would have been like walking through a door as opposed to climbing up a freaking mountain without cold, wet winter gear.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is an accurate depiction.
It was right off the top of my head, but it felt right.
Yeah.
Oh, and Drew is saying, I wish I started learning soprano recorder 30 years ago. Well, no, 29 years. Okay, I'm not there. I was like, wait a minute. When did I? Okay, we're good. 29 years. Yes, that was close. Okay. So, yes, which, of course, brings us in to number 2, which is, of course, not just a podcast. We would have embraced.
Yeah, do you remember when we were super cute and thinking we were a podcast?
Yeah, just a podcast.
We were so cute back then.
Yeah. I didn't mean that as a slight against you, Drew, by the way. He's saying ouch because I said not 30. I could have. The thing was, I never even saw maybe I saw a recorder, but I never had access to a recorder until I was 17 in high school. A friend of mine in band brought one in. So I never touched one when I was in elementary school like everyone else did. So I got the late start, so don't feel bad. All is well. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, we used to believe that we were just a podcast, and we tried to push it. We were so adamant that, no, we don't want to do this other stuff. We're a podcast. Right. That's how we're approaching this. And so, yeah, that was kind of strange. It was really...
And it was a couple of months into it, like 3 or 4 months into it, before we finally had the conversation. It was like, okay, we cannot think of ourselves in these terms anymore. Yeah. We have to embrace what we are because the universe is not giving us a choice in this matter.
Yeah. We had a need. There was a need we needed to fill. And we started out trying to think of it as shows supporting the podcast, and it wasn't working.
It doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, like you really need clues to tabulate my age. I mean, please.
I actually know how old he is.
She does. You saw me in college in an Animaniacs shirt. It's kind of a dead giveaway. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. It's not like it's that difficult. Of course. I mean, come on. I everybody knows I was born in 1982. Shut up. Anyway.
Okay. Thank you for saying that when I wasn't taking a drink so that I would spit everything all over my gear.
Sometimes I get the timing right. Sometimes I get it wrong. So, number 1. Same sleep schedule. We have not really been on the same sleep schedule. She wakes up on the East Coast at like 4:30 a.m. or whatever.
No, it's not that early. It's typically around 6:30 in the morning. Although it's not unusual for me to be already awake when my alarm goes off.
About to say.
But my alarm is set for 6:30.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay. Well, I'll give you a nice nod and just kind of go, sure, 6:30. But 6:30 your time, that's like 5:30 my time, assuming we believe that she wakes up that late. But yeah, I mean, but for me, my problem is I'll be working and I'll do a show like this, and then I'll be like, okay, this was great show. Here's what I need to do. I'll take the notes from the show and I'll start jumping on stuff. And because after the show, what would happen is I'll talk to Lee and we'll have a post-mortem about how the show went, good, bad. Usually, and I'll be thinking we need to have this project, or they need to get ready, or and I'll work on it.
Alicia just pointed out that my 6:30 a.m. is your 1982.
Damn it, I can't really argue that. That's very, very witty, Alicia. That is very, very true. Wow. Okay, so
Yeah, she fits right in around
she
here.
kind of does. Wow. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to slide one in there. Okay, so
But yeah, Andrew will get off on a tangent that'll keep him up all night. And
yeah,
I go to
yeah.
bed between 9 and 10 p.m. my time,
The weird thing
Eastern.
is, sometimes I'll go to sleep at 10. Sometimes I'll go to sleep at 10 a.m. And
I
it's
was just
just,
about to
I mean,
ask
anywhere in
10
between. I mean, it
a.m.
varies. There have been times where I've been working on, like, we have a show the next day, and I have all this stuff I need to get ready. I got a video from the performer like the night before, and
Yeah.
I have to work on it, re-encode it, edit it, do all this stuff,
And it takes time.
and it takes time. And I could do a half-ass job, but I don't like doing that.
Right.
And the longer we went, I mean, the first few weeks I didn't like doing that. The first few months I didn't like doing that. But as it went longer and longer, I couldn't. I didn't want one of our shows to be worse than the previous one. I always wanted
Right.
the next one to be better. So I would take the time and work on it and make the shows sound and look good. And it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And
It does.
get everything going. And it sometimes I'd be pulling an all nighter, and then it'd be 10, and I'd be like, I'm done. Okay.
Well, and
I need to get a few hours
you
sleep now.
know, it I can't pull all nighters.
Granted, I mean,
you know,
you have the family. I mean, you're in that
I
situation
do.
where you can't, and so that's cool.
Domestically
I mean,
inclined.
And generally, it doesn't make sense for you to do it anyway because of what you do.
It does.
Working at that time makes very little sense. For
Exactly.
me, it actually does make some sense because working and doing editing while nobody's interrupting you is actually kind of nice.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Well, and a lot of times, if I don't have anything going on the next day, I will work late at night just for that exact reason. If I'm creating content, I want as few interruptions as possible. So there's like a couple of windows throughout my day where I can accomplish that. Usually early in the morning, oddly enough. My husband's in the military, so he gets up and he goes into work very early. And my son gets up and he starts his virtual school very early. He's usually in the same room as me, but he's, struggling to stay awake. They start school at 7:20 in the morning, and his first class of the day, poor baby, is math. And there is just no way to make math exciting on a computer screen. It has nothing to do with how good or not good his teacher is. His teacher's amazing. It's just really difficult to make algebra exciting for virtual school. So I have a pretty peaceful morning. All I have to do is turn around every now and then and, make sure the child's awake in class. And the dog's usually laying down, and so I get a lot of my content creation done first thing in the morning. But it is not unusual for you and I to be crossing paths that early in the morning. I'm just getting up, and he's getting ready to go down.
It's happened. But I'm working on it.
It happens at least once a week.
I've done better. And
you have.
Last week I actually got some decent sleep, which was good.
You
but occasionally
did, thank
there'll be
God.
a couple of weeks where I'm like working like a dog and getting not much sleep. So, but very rarely have I not delivered on the deadline.
That is very true.
So I'm proud of that
very
fact.
True.
It hasn't happened in a while, and I'm very proud of that. But yeah, this is. That was our 7 reasons list for the day. And I am definitely, and you look at the whole remote learning thing, virtual learning, and I always have to put a positive spin on things. No, it's true. So I'm gonna say that at least this has forced education to come up with a way to do it better, even if it's not for several years when they come up with it. They're going to actually start taking it seriously.
Okay, well, I have to point out one really horrible side effect of virtual learning, though, because I'm going to preface this with the fact that I'm a massive fan of virtual learning. Mm-hmm. The school district where I'm at is actually doing a really great job of it, despite the craziness that the teachers were handled. They have done a fantastic job of making it as engaging as humanly possible and really leaning into the technology hard. And it's actually been a pretty pleasant situation here, thank God. But think of this. There was never a such thing as a snow day ever again.
Yeah.
like that is gone. That is past. That is history. These children will never know a snow day ever again, because instead of a snow day, they're just going to be like, we'll just switch to virtual days.
I think of all the things I never knew and I'll never know about that my father had to go through, and I'm okay with that. I mean, there were some trade-offs here and there. Or my grandparents, I'm okay with that too. I mean,
right, but a snow day, I mean, just like a day off of school, a
you
rando
know,
day off of school. I
with
mean,
every bit of progress, there are some sacrifices with everything,
yeah,
and you just
yeah.
have to. And I'm with Drew on that, because I'm in Austin and
Well,
I grew
you're,
up outside
yeah.
of Houston. A snow day, that's kind of like, that's so cute that you actually had snow days. I mean, I can think of.
Well, I didn't growing up.
I'm like thinking
I
of
grew
how
up in
many snow days.
Louisiana, but it is not unusual for us to have snow days here in Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, snow days. Okay, I can think of one. My
Right.
entire childhood. Um, yeah, I can think of one maybe. Uh, that's it.
Well, one interesting thing about Virginia, we were actually doing virtual learning days before the lockdown happened. So we had something of a system in place already, which was kind of interesting. Now, it wasn't nearly as expanded as they had to suddenly get and all of that, but they've already made it super clear that we will just switch to virtual whenever we need to.
Yeah,
The only time that they won't do it is for hurricane days, because we get those here too. We get snow and hurricanes.
yeah,
It's great. But the reason they won't do it for that is because we all have to prep. We have bigger fish to fry,
yeah,
than what's going on. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, I totally get it. It's just I don't know. I think we got to think that the pros outweigh the cons on this one, honestly.
I'll give that to you, but it makes me a little sad that that's going to be a thing of the past. I mean,
but there'll probably be new things. There'll be these wonderful little things that'll come up that we can't even comprehend. That it's just like, what? Why is that special? And they're like, no, it's the coolest thing. And we're like, I don't get it. And it's just for
the
them.
kids are doing some really interesting projects
I bet.
online. Like they're learning skills that a lot of us, maybe the younger among us, might have started doing this. But things like video editing and all of that. These kids are going to come out of elementary school with a whole different skill
There,
set. It's really neat.
there have been a lot. There's been a lot of well, at the last decade, there's been a lot of thought into what a future a virtual school would be like,
Yeah.
and we don't have the technology yet for it, but not really. But down the road, wow, it could be pretty
Right.
awesome. And I'm kind of, it needs to be made right, which means there's some companies that should not do it, but if it's done right and standardized and open source, preferably, so it's not proprietary. So one company destroys it by getting their money every year and not caring. It's no updates or development. It will. I think it'll be a good thing. I really do down the road. I look forward to seeing it.
It's
So
forced the teachers to get outside the box here, at least.
yeah,
And it's actually been kind of fun and kind of cool. They had to think, how do I translate this? And
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's teaching in a
they're
completely different
doing
way.
some really neat things. My son's been very very engaged, which surprised me. I was a little worried.
Well, that's good. I mean, maybe this is good for him in some ways.
It has been. The only thing I feel bad is the poor teachers. Oh my Lord. They were just thrown right into the
Oh,
frying
sure.
pan, and
They,
it has not stopped. And now a lot of the teachers in my area are teaching hybrid classes, whether they wanted to or not. They have kids in their classroom and online at the same time. And
wow.
I have no idea how they're surviving that. So, let's just throw
I
out a
mean,
God bless teachers.
I'm not saying it's not doable, but that's just without a lot of
It's
support from.
rough. I
I
mean,
mean,
that's teaching two
relying on
different
them to
classes.
do it all is ridiculous. You almost need two
Right.
teachers for every class, one
Well,
handling one aspect and one handling another.
um, we actually kind of do have that here, but even so, it's still really difficult because that's two different lesson plans for every class. You cannot teach virtual kids the same way you teach in-person kids.
That's
I mean,
true.
it's the same concept we approach all of our shows with. We can't do our shows at a fair the same way we do them online. It just doesn't work the same. And so that's the thing that I really feel horrible for the teachers right now, because their workload is at best doubled. It's more like tripled, because in addition to having to create lesson plans and be the amazing teachers that they are for in two different mediums, you know, in person and virtual, they're also having to teach themselves skills they didn't know they needed until this happened. And they're doing it like they're building the plane as they're flying it. And that's rough. Trust me, we know how rough that is.
I mean, I really think in 5 to 10 years, it's going to be a totally different world where
I agree.
It's going to force the schools, the government, and a lot of companies to really put this together and make it work well. And
I would actually not be shocked if my son stays in hybrid education for the rest of his high school career.
Wow, that's just
right now he's 100% virtual. I'm actually anticipating him not attending school in person at all during his freshman year.
What a good idea for a t-shirt, 100% virtual. I like it. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, we're kind of getting towards the end. I mean, surprisingly, we're kind of running over what I normally do. It's like we're talking a lot or something. I don't understand.
Oh, no. Us? Never.
I know, right? So now at least we have proof that, you know, she's the talker. It's not me. It's her. It's her. It's her. So anyway. But yeah, I'm with Carol on this, that she thinks the virtual stuff is all a little dehumanizing and she wants real human contact. That is important.
I'm actually doing okay with this.
Well, some people would certainly like it, and I'm okay with it, but I still, I mean, somebody earlier mentioned doing, it was Halacia actually mentioned virtual Renaissance festivals, and I'm like, you know, something like that I get, but it's not going to be. Trying to call it a virtual Renaissance fair, I think is a mistake, because it's nowhere near the same. I think you need to make it something totally different.
Right. Well, and that's why we went the route that we went instead of going that route. That and other people were doing it. Yeah. You know, well, it just didn't make sense.
Drew kind of drew out of me that one of the next Shakespeare Review shows is going to be Forbidden Planet. That's going to be a few weeks away.
That's a few weeks from now. I say you guys haven't filmed that episode yet, huh?
I will be filming that tomorrow, actually.
That's what I thought.
So yeah, that'll be coming up really soon, and we'll get that out. But coming up this Friday is going to be the 10 Things I Hate About You.
I love that movie. I made them put that on the list because I love that movie.
Classic.
Well, wait. We kind of have to back up for a second because you just skipped Thursday and went right to Friday.
No, I didn't. Nothing to report.
Well, we might want to discuss that.
Thursday? What's Thursday? There's no Thursday. There's no Thursday this week. What are you talking about?
There is no Thursday this week. Well, that's what I'm talking about. There's no Thursday this week, people.
If you noticed our 7 list about taking breaks, and, you know, last week, if you saw our gathering show, I talked a little bit at the beginning, mentioning that it had been 6 months since we started gathering, and we had something every Thursday since, for 6 straight months.
Well, in 6 months as gathering, there's a whole nother month you get to add where we had shows on Thursday that were not like
granted, but a little.
So it's been 7 months.
But for sure, let's say 6 months of gathering without really a break, and it's a little crazy. And you know, honestly, I'm a little proud of the fact that we haven't had a break. And at the same time, I'm afraid I might be a masochist, and that kind of bothers me. So
I'm gonna say anything. But,
yeah, right. Yeah, because if you did, then you'd be a sadist, and that would just be a weird dynamic. So yeah, right. But I think that we talked about it and realized, there's a lot going on this coming up week with both of us, and it would be really good to be able to catch up on some projects and do some stuff and get ahead for the next several months, and that's the plan. So we are not having a show this Thursday. I mean, I feel like I'm the announcer for Nadia Comaneci in the 76 Olympics. Just going, for the first time in the history of life's affair, no Thursday show.
First time ever.
And it's crazy. I know. I'm almost embarrassed. It's we've been killing ourselves so much over this.
Well, we've kind of been gotten forced into it because of I'll talk about it. I'm actually having a minor surgery on Thursday morning, and it just that combined with everything we had on our plates, the fact that we haven't gone dark ever before, it was like, okay, this is silly. Why are we doing this to ourselves? So we're going to use this as a nice catch-up week. I'm going to recuperate. And y'all don't worry about me. This is just a procedure to actually reduce my pain level for my spinal injury, so I'm actually super excited about it.
It's a good thing.
I'm very, very happy this is happening. Although I will be in a bad mood on Thursday because it's not a pleasant procedure. It just made sense to go dark.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have time to myself doing, a day off, a break. I don't know. I mean, I may.
It's that day off word, man.
It's
day
crazy.
Off.
It's crazy. It's like our list is coming true. I don't know. I don't know what'll happen Thursday. I mean, maybe I'll drunk stream. Who knows? It could happen.
That would be hilarious.
I don't know. I've never had this situation before. This is new. This is a new world. I've never drunk streamed before. I mean, I've never drunk texted either, so maybe I won't, but you never know.
I would say, do you drunk anything?
Well, there's that too, but that's the problem. I'm a lightweight.
It still weirds me out that you've started drinking
I'm such
alcohol.
A lightweight. Who knows what'll happen? I have one drink, and the next thing you know,
that's true.
I mean,
it very much weirds me out when you drink.
I know. It's really odd. Really a strange thing.
It's just wrong.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's really just it's an odd thing to do that kind of.
It's just wrong. It's just wrong. I'm just so used to Andrew being a complete teetotaler.
I know.
I am the one who drinks,
Well, that was sweet. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's
I would say that'll wake you up.
Morning. Okay. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Was that honey
Thursday.
whiskey?
It was. It's good for the throat.
It is good for the throat.
Sometimes I'll have some for that, but I really don't drink. I really don't drink much.
No,
but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's but yeah, for the current plan is nothing this Thursday, and then we have 10 Things I Hate About You for Friday. And
so I'm very much looking forward to this episode.
Yeah, it is a classic film already. I mean, it's if you wanted to do a modern take on the Shakespeare play with your own twist to it, it's hard to do better than this. It really
absolutely
is. And the interesting thing is a lot of the secondary cast is surprisingly good, really good casting. Some of the actors you've never seen before, and some of them you recognize, but this was early in their career. So it's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. But yeah. It's definitely should be good. Now, next week,
right,
is going to be interesting as well. Go ahead and tell them what happens next week.
Well, Monday, we have Faire Life, of
Once
course.
Again.
So
once again, and the graphics will even be better.
I will be back. I say Andrew. It'll be Andrew back. Is it next week that you're having a guest on?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
That's not finalized.
It may turn out that I have a guest. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. I don't want to spoil it yet, but it's entirely possible. It has been discussed. there has been a
I
discussion
wasn't
of some sort.
positive.
And,
I was not positive about
and
that.
yeah. So
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
a guest
Okay.
on Monday, so look for that.
Okay. Okay. And then Tuesday next week. Well, Tuesday actually tomorrow Tuesday. We have a podcast episode coming
It's
out,
true.
and
Oh, guess who's
Alicia is the
yeah,
guest.
Alicia. I get to interview
Yeah.
Alicia, so if you want to find out a little bit more about Alicia.
Yeah.
I mean, we also interviewed her when she was on our show as a performer, because she's a
Right.
performer too, if you didn't know that.
But this is a whole different type
yeah.
of interview now that she's
So,
on our staff, and
this is cool.
and yeah, it's gonna be
Definitely.
cool. And then next Tuesday, the podcast episode was who was the guest you did? I'm trying to remember.
It was Tom. Tom Zadoko.
Oh, Tom. That's
from
right.
the Mud
Tom
Show.
Zadoko.
From the Mud Squad.
From the Mud
that
Squad
we talked about earlier.
That's right. That's right.
So a lot better, and that's this is very interesting because I've known him for years, but I really didn't know about how he got started in Faire. That's one of the reasons I love these shows, because these performers or people related to Faire that you may have known for years, you don't know. I mean, it's not, they don't have bios that talk about that kind of thing. It's
we learn something new about them every time we have people on.
I love it.
Because there's a couple people who've been on more than once at this point, and we still learn something new about every one of them every time. So that's one of the things I love about the podcast.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So, and then let's see. And then on next Thursday, we will be back, but not with Gathering of Faire. Andrew, why don't you tell them what we're doing?
Oh, yeah. Next Thursday is we're doing a CD release party for the pirate group from the Texas Renaissance Festival, the Pride of Bedlam.
I'm super excited about this.
This is going to be cool. We're going to have a large group of people on, and there's going to be some real cool stuff going on, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're still working out the details of everything we're going to be doing with that.
Yep.
So I can't really give you too much detail yet, but the logistics are a little weird with that many people, but I think we're going to make it work. I think they're all going to be on.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
So we should have more details on that in the next couple of days. So stay tuned to Life's a Faire for some more info on that. It should be a blast.
Awesome.
And then on the day after that, we have the new Shakespeare Reviews, which
and this is going to be my favorite
edition of Shakespeare Reviews. Now, I talked to Will about this, Dan, and just said, hey, let's do something special for Halloween. He's like, well, what Shakespeare movie would we? Because there's so many possibilities of Halloween type films that are.
No, there was only one.
And I immediately said, no, we're doing Warm Bodies. And he just went, oh, yeah. I'm not exactly. That's exactly what he did.
I love that movie.
That's exactly what he did.
You're giving me an excellent excuse to rewatch it.
Yes, and you should, because a zombie film based on Romeo and Juliet, first of all, it sounds ludicrous. It sounds like,
it does.
What were they smoking?
Sounds right. Who comes up with this stuff?
And that's ridiculous,
Says the people who created
falling in love
Reviews.
with a zombie, all that. It's just kind of like this is the type of thing that you would expect on the Sci-Fi Channel back in the 90s. Yeah.
God, I remember when I tripped across it. I think it was on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
And I was just like bored one night. I think my husband was deployed. I was up late watching movies and something. And I'm like, what is this? And I just hit play thinking I'd fall asleep to it. That didn't happen.
No.
I love
brilliant.
that movie.
So
I have
many
watched
good
it.
things.
Every time I watch that movie, I notice something different.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot
There
of
are
little
lots
good
of
touches.
subtle little things that happen throughout that movie.
There
I'm not
really are.
I'm not going to get into it.
And it's just and a very small cast.
Yeah. Yeah, very
but some
small.
of them very notable, some of them just good character actors, and you really I mean, no weaknesses. I mean, everybody was great. And I mean, I'm giving away a little bit of my review, but I'm just saying this is a great film, and a lot of interesting information about it, how it came about. I mean, some really cool stuff, some good history. So you're gonna love this. And
all right, so your Shakespeare Reviews homework for the next week is to watch 10 Things I Hate About You and Warm Bodies.
And if you're really daring and you want to really over-prepare, aka Drew, go with Forbidden Planet and just kind of get that out of the way if you're in the mood. and prepare for a few weeks from now where that will be available. And just because Drew said it, I may try to push it closer to the more recent and get it up sooner on the queue. But yeah. Yeah, zombie Romeo and Juliet, according to Janine, and that's it. Yeah, that is exactly it.
Yep.
Warm bodies, and it is it's such a good film.
Well, I think a lot of people missed it because it was kind of a quiet film.
Oh yeah,
there's not like a lot of.
I mean, come on.
Craziness.
The studio did not think this was going to do that.
No, they didn't.
They did not.
They did not.
They didn't
put
spend
a whole lot
$10 million
behind it
on the promotional budget.
Mm-mm.
They did not. It was under the radar and just kept...
I think I've seen more promotion on it on the back end after it started getting buzz and people started talking about it.
Yeah.
I think they threw a little bit behind it at that point. But yeah, I had not heard a thing about it when I tripped across it, and it was random suggestion. It was I only got it suggested because I had just watched another zombie movie recently, and that's why it popped up for me.
Gotcha. Oh, and Drew's talking about watch Forbidden Planet and The Tempest back to back. It'll blow your mind, and you're probably right. Little Forbidden Planet trivia preview here. The director of Forbidden Planet had no idea that it was based on The Tempest.
Really?
No, he didn't know. He just had.
How did he not know?
I mean, it just.
Did he not read the script?
It's sci-fi.
Okay.
Sci-fi in the 50s.
Yeah, his brain probably just
back
wasn't
then.
there.
You're just kind of like, oh gosh, there aren't giant monsters. That are made out of foam. This is a good movie. Okay, let's just do it. And it was, it was a win. So yeah, he just approached it, and he took it seriously and approached it, and he did not know. He said later that he'd heard about it after the fact, and it was just like, really? Oh my god, yeah, it is. I guess, yeah, and which I think actually does the film justice. It was the best way to do it because.
Probably why it didn't go
traps.
Too far.
Yeah, people fall into traps of thinking it has to be like this or it has to be done this way, and he just made with the script he got. He made the best of it he could, and I think that's one of the reasons it is so good. And Kristen's asking me about the Louisiana Ren Fair. No. So sorry.
Sadness.
Yeah, that did not work out, I'm afraid. So. Sorry about that, Kristen. But yeah, hopefully next year. So that's the way it works. But oh well. That's fairs now are kind of tough. They're scaling back a lot, and some of them are I mean they certainly they could not afford me. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of fairs, they're anticipating, even if they're opening, they're anticipating having a lot less patrons through the gate out of necessity. They have to restrict how many people can show up. That means that they have a much smaller operating budget, and that they can't bring back everybody this year.
Yeah, to be fair, my decision wasn't even COVID related. I never had to go there. I just looked at the what they could do money wise and what was possible, and it was just like, no, I can't. That's just, I can't do that. So I never even had to make the ethical choice.
Right.
I never even had to say, okay, financially I can make this work. Now should I? And that I never even had to do it. So, which I'm glad, because that would have been a tough one.
It would have been.
To be honest. And it shouldn't. Maybe it shouldn't be, but it's tough when you really love a fair and you've done it for a long time.
Well, I think it's easier for people like me to make those calls, because I have my son is high risk. For anybody who doesn't know, my son has a brain injury. He had a brain tumor removed a few years ago. It left him with a brain injury and dementia. So it's easy for me to say, okay, I'm just going to stay home. Plus, I live on 3 acres out in the country. I already like staying home. But for somebody like you, who's used to traveling for a living, and I mean, that's what you do. It's hard.
I'm single, and I don't even have a dog. So I mean, there's no worry. I mean, in that regard, I'm just risking me pretty much. So it's not as much of a problem. In that respect, but still, it's still a big question. And yeah, and
Well,
Kristen's right. It
I would
is okay
say
to say no
Kristen's got an
sometimes.
excellent point. I think both Andrew and myself have had to. I think every artist
Yeah.
of any kind at some point has to learn how to say no. I actually used to teach a class specifically on learning how to say no.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's always the tough part. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm looking at the possibility of maybe going out to LARF and filming some shows out there, but that may not even happen. It just depends. Maybe I'll see if somebody else can film a few for me.
Right.
It's one of those things. I mean, the whole Pennsylvania thing opened up some interesting options for filming shows at Ren fairs now, and I was so happy with how the Pennsylvania situation worked out as far as the shows, and we've.
Yeah, it really did.
And
It worked very well.
and we've even got more coming up in a few weeks from that show. So, yeah, so that'll be interesting with Wine and Alchemy and everything. So yeah, that'll be cool. Uh, oh, and Kristen's saying she's joining the Sherwood cast next year. So
Oh,
there's that.
good.
Oh, I can say, Kristen, that I already talked to the entertainment director there at Sherwood, and so it looks like I'm going to be there next year, assuming there isn't some other disaster.
Well, and I actually was talking about trying to make a trip out to Sherwood in the spring. That depending on how things are going, I might actually pop up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweetness. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So we got to see.
We could do a live podcast.
Oh, that would be fun. Oh, definitely.
Live stream from Sherwood? Oh, this could happen.
That's going to happen.
We could do that. I like this. This is a good idea.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm into it. We should definitely do that.
And that's another thing we're looking at, doing some live shows, live streams from fairs and doing some stuff like that. I mean, it's not
now
easy
that
to
some
do.
fairs are open, no, they're not. Well, it's not easy to do, mostly because most fairs are located out in the country where they do not have good internet.
Yeah, and that's sort of the thing. I think we'll. There's a lot of interesting options. Some that are out now. Some that are starting to come out with rural internet options that you can that are portable that you can pull off. I'm looking at that.
Well, my Verizon little jetpack thing actually works pretty good.
Yeah.
My son was actually doing virtual school on it for a little bit, and it worked just fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's a trick to it, and that's the whole thing. I mean, probably I would need a really good gear setup, because doing it through my phone is not going to cut it with what I do. But I think it is possible to have a portable setup that would work really well, and still not be totally out there at Faire. Another interesting tidbit, I'm looking at upgrading my webcam. And I didn't even talk to you about this, Lee. I've finished all the research. I just need to go ahead and order it. And
cool.
I'm looking for the best place to get it, and it might take a few days to find that. But no, I mean, going with a DSLR, so the difference should be insane. At one of the next Faire Lives, it may not be next week, but probably the week after at the latest, I hope.
Cool.
I might be able to do a side-by-side thing and show camera one, camera two.
Oh, that'll be fun.
And maybe do a split screen like this, where it has one from each, so you can really see the difference. I think that's going to be cool.
You do love your technology.
I really do. But
you're such a dork.
Hey, the last 6 months, it's paid off. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing.
Okay. Yeah.
I have my things that I nerd out about too. It's cool.
This is true. But no, this is just going to be
Don't
fun
ever get me started talking about seeds. That's one of my things.
Wow, did you see the post a little while ago?
What?
It was, what was it? Cameron Brown. I'm just hoping that I've planted enough seeds in previous years to harvest a living in my LARF shop this season. I expected to.
I missed that one.
I thought you were referencing it the way you said that.
No. I totally missed that comment. The comments are moving kind of fast on my screen.
Funny. Okay. Well, okay. As of now, this is the longest Faire life we've ever had.
Oh, geez. It surely is.
Yeah, we've been live for an hour and 22 minutes, roughly.
Oh, man. Yeah, that means I'm going to turn into a pumpkin soon.
She goes to sleep early. It's really hilarious.
I do.
She just,
It's actually kind of past my bedtime already. It's funny.
It's
but I
nuts.
get up early.
There, yeah, you do. Ungodly early, I swear. Anyway,
I used to get up earlier, so I guess that's why I'm like, no, it's not that early. I used to get up a lot earlier.
and Alicia's saying, "Raise your hand if you're actually shocked they ran long." Yeah, I'm not. I'm not. I maybe this long, but I knew we'd run long.
Yeah, we usually do.
But I wasn't expecting this. But we got comfortable. You know what it is? Normally, I talk about the next week. We've talked about the next several weeks.
We have.
We are so getting ahead of ourselves and prepared, and all of that. And we're taking this week off. It's going to get even better. We're going to be okay. I'm going to say it, but I don't want to jinx it. So,
oh God,
organized.
That's not a bad word.
It's not. It's not. But I'm just afraid that if I say it, it might not happen.
Well, my side of the house is organized. Just gonna say that.
I know. Okay, let's see. OCD, me. OCD, me.
Yeah.
But I am. I certainly have my OCD aspects of things. But
you do. Well, and I will say you have gotten a lot more organized in the last 7 months.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way we could have survived without that.
Work 65, 70-hour weeks, for 6 straight months. You kind of are forced to. It's an interesting thing. I mean, yeah.
It's organize or die.
Yeah. How do you get good at something? Do it daily for 6 months, and you will get good at it. I don't care what it is. Mm-hmm. You do it for 6 months
You still suck at calendars and to-do lists.
Actually, that's not true. I have a lot of to-do lists. You just never see them.
Okay, I'll give you that. You suck at shared to-do lists, and you suck at calendars.
That is true. I'm always been shy about sharing my to-do lists because it's like, no, it's mine. I don't know. It's a weird attitude, I know, but I'm just like, no, it's my to-do list. Nobody gets to see my to-do list. This is my to-do list. It's a weird sort of, I don't know. I don't know where it stems from. It's a good question.
All right, Smeagol.
Really? Really? Really?
I'm going to remember that.
So will I. So, comparing me to the most obsessed character in fantasy films ever and fantasy literature.
Well, hey, she fits.
Oh, it starts. It starts. But no. At the very least, I am getting better. So that small steps.
You are definitely getting better.
Yeah. So I'm proud of that. And yeah. So I guess we should probably call it here. Anything else we need to say? Oh, marketing guru that thou art.
No, I think we covered all of it. I mean, well, at least for now, we're going to have, lots of stuff going on for the rest of the year as usual.
Oh,
and we're working on, we're still working on getting that live pub sing together that we've talked about.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of,
actually,
we got to get everybody on the same page tech wise.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do some holiday shows, and there's lots of really cool stuff going on in the wings that we'll start talking about over the next couple of months or actually weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm into
so yeah, stay tuned. There'll be some really cool stuff, and watch those movies. Prepare for Shakespeare Reviews because
there's probably going to be a new show premiering soon. We've got people actually filming. We've got another new show in production right now. So I'm excited about that, but we're not talking about it yet. But I will totally tell y'all that it's in production.
It's a hard enough life affair. It's a hard enough life's affair.
Right. Well, and especially now that we have staff, I'm so excited. Like you guys are going to hear about this for a while. We are enamored.
You are.
We're so enamored with this because now I have someone else to help.
I know.
Like, it's not just the two of us anymore. There's a third body in the mix.
Yeah, I think
It is
one of
so
Alicia's new
exciting.
job has to be to remind me be to ask for help because it's going to be so counterintuitive for me for a while.
Right. That is, I'm having the same problem. I am absolutely that is why her job title is lead enabler,
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
because that is what she does. She enables us.
She's gonna create her own job title because we're gonna see how this evolves because I don't know,
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be
it
interesting.
is going to be interesting, but I am so super excited. Like she said, we're going to do all the things. I think we've blown her mind this last week when she started seeing how many projects we actually have going on right now.
Yeah.
And I don't even have everything loaded into Trello yet. So she actually hasn't seen everything yet.
Oh yeah.
She hasn't seen the development list yet. That's what I don't have loaded in the Trello yet. That's gonna. I'm trying not to scare her. We don't want her to run away. It's a scary looking list.
No, stay with us. Stay. Don't run away. We have
Right.
candy.
So yeah, I'm
We have
I'm
honey
super
whiskey.
excited because this, just her existence means that we can do so much more, and she's already helping a lot, just making us look at things in different ways and consider things in different ways. And there are some projects that are going to be able to get bumped up now that we have some more help. So I'm pumped.
Nice, nice. Okay, well, we're both pumped, ready to go. Um,
Yep.
it's gonna be yeah. I mean, don't forget Thursday off. So don't
Yes.
immediately mark a calendar. Make sure you know. But after that Thursday on
Friday.
again. But Friday we've still got stuff and it's gonna be cool. So um,
Well, and let me ask the all our fans a quick question, really quick. We have been just uploading the Shakespeare Reviews shows as a regular video. Would you guys rather us do it as a premiere so that you can click get reminder? That's something that I'm super curious about.
yeah,
So let me know in the comments, please.
yeah. Let her know because that is a very good question. We've
Yeah.
the, one of the weird quirky things about Facebook is, oh, you want to release something? Okay, you can do this, or this,
Right.
and with all of these, you can do it this way or that way. And
Yeah.
if you do it the first way, well, then you can do this or this or this. If you do it the second way, well, then you're screwed. Sorry, you can only do it this way. It's kind of weird. I don't. It's strange.
It's bizarre. Oh, you
Um,
know what one show we forgot to mention is the 305 replay on
oh
Fridays.
right,
I totally blanked on that. So
right.
yeah, that one doesn't happen on our channel. That one
Yeah,
actually happens on Shakespeare Approves, or is it Shakespeare's Coffee Break? No, it's on
Shakespeare
Shakespeare
approves. Shakespeare
Approves.
approves.
So every Friday at 3:05, Andrew
Eastern.
and Eastern, sorry. Everyone's just gonna come exist in the Eastern time zone with me now.
You've seen our sleep schedules. No, it's not happening.
Right. So every Friday at 3:05 Eastern, Andrew and Dan, Willie Shakespeare, get together and host a watch party of the newest episode of Shakespeare Reviews on his channel, Shakespeare Approves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun because you get to watch them. Oh, thank you for putting that link in the comments for me. You get to actually chat with the two hosts of the show while you're watching the show, and there's usually a lot of fun and shenanigans that happen in the comment section. So
Sometimes we
it's
make
been
fun of
fun.
ourselves. No, it happens.
Oh, they definitely make fun of themselves. That definitely happens, and we make fun of them too. It's
Oh
great.
yeah, you definitely have that opportunity to make fun of us to our face in a way.
Well, we had some good conversation last week with watching Much Ado About
Oh
Nothing.
yeah.
It
Well, I
was
mean,
a lot of fun.
such a great film, so people had a lot of
Right.
opinions about it and thoughts, and it was is interesting. Yeah, that what I loved is that people had some really interesting takes on a few things that we had not even considered. I love seeing that.
And we had a whole conversation about Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Which good or bad depending on your view, but
Oh, Janine's asking. Yeah, we're not on daylight saving times quite yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's the
totally
fun thing.
forgot about that.
You know how I think of you know how I remember daylight savings time? What fair's going on? That's how my life is. That's what my life is turned into. Wait a minute, no, that fair hasn't started yet. No daylight savings time. That's how I know it.
I honestly wouldn't even notice it except that it totally changes this time of sunrise.
Yeah, there's that.
My poor kiddo he's going to school in the dark right now. And class starts at 7:20 and the sun's not really up by then.
Those were the days. I remember
Yeah.
that.
And so I think he's going to be a lot happier when we hit daylight savings.
Yeah, it makes it easier in some ways, but I don't know. There's pros and cons for
Katsarita
both.
pointed out it's November 1 this year.
Yeah.
Like how Drew put it, spring forward, TRF back.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a pretty
I
good way
always
to
would
put
do
it.
like for me it was always what the
LARF.
well, yeah, LARF at the beginning of LARF is back.
That was the
And
only
then,
way I got an extra.
Sherwood is forward. So Sherwood forward,
Right,
LARF back.
LARF back. When I
Or
was
TRF
working at
back
LARF,
before I did LARF,
that was
yeah.
the only way I got like a little bit more sleep. It's because of that.
Yeah, Kristen says she hates the time change and get rid of it. And there's a lot of valid argument to be made on that.
I have mixed feelings on it.
I mean, the reason why it came about is not relevant anymore.
Exactly.
And you can make some cases that there's a new relevancy, and I get that, but to get rid of it would cause a lot of issues in the short term, and
I hate that.
All the software you'd have to pre-program at the very least would be interesting.
Right.
But,
well, I know my husband goes to work in the dark and comes home in the dark certain times a year, and that's not fun. He's just like me. He's solar powered, so he'll get in a little bit of a funk in the winter because he can't go out and work in the yard. He can't do all the stuff he wants to do. So it's kind of whatever.
Yeah, I can see both sides, and they're making some cases out there right now in the chat. I see it. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. What's weird for me is this will be the first Thanksgiving in I don't know how many years that I am not going to be at a fair.
I didn't even think about that.
My parents might actually see me.
What?
I know. I haven't had.
Can they even handle that?
I don't.
Wait, have you discussed this with them?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I said it was a possibility, and they were just kind of like, really? But yeah, I don't know. It's.
That's crazy.
I know. I'm not even sure the last time I did a Thanksgiving with. I mean, gosh.
I'm sure it's been a hot second.
It really has. Many years.
Yeah.
So.
See, now you need to do that.
Because the fairs I was playing at, they were usually open.
Yeah, they're open on Black Friday, right?
Yeah, so.
So you had to be traveling on that day.
Yeah.
Just to be at work on time, and that's.
It wasn't practical.
Who's gonna travel on Thanksgiving Day? That's silly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's cool though.
It might happen. It might happen.
That would be very cool.
Of course, I might have to do the cooking. I don't know if my mom's really she might have been taking the time off and saying, "Woohoo! I don't have to do the crazy family cook thing, yay!" And I don't know.
Oh, well, you don't have to do it like a big fancy meal for Thanksgiving. No. To me, that's optional. Now, I do it because I like to cook.
Yeah, I'll make some stuff.
That's a thing. But like getting together is enough. Like you don't have to do all the silliness. Like if you don't want to cook a big fancy meal, don't cook a big fancy meal. Cook a regular meal. Nobody says you have to have turkey on Thanksgiving.
You don't. Yeah, but then there's my dad who will be like, wait a minute. You mean I could have had a whole big, huge meal and you said, no, we didn't have to. And now I'm not going to. Andrew, what the hell?
Okay. I will admit that I do cook a big, huge meal and I like it. I actually do a tuna for Thanksgiving.
Interesting.
I probably won't be doing it this Sunday. I was originally planning on doing it this Sunday. I cook Sunday meal and we have people over every Sunday. Um, but I was planning on doing it this Sunday, but since I'm having my little surgery thing, I probably won't do it. But yeah, I have to cook the turkey and make sure everything's still kosher with my recipe and all that kind of
Naturally.
stuff. Gotta dust that, blow that dust off, so I don't cook big turkeys very often.
I may make dressing and sweet
Ooh,
potato casserole.
I would say, who said that? Now I gotta scroll back. Oh, Janine just said she can share her stuffing recipe. Maybe we need to do a recipe swap for Thanksgiving. I'm into it.
Maybe.
I'd be into it.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. Unfortunately, the dressing recipe of my mom's, it's never really been written down. I'm gonna have to work on that.
I actually don't make dressing. It's not a thing.
Oh,
I'm from New Orleans.
I love
Not
it.
we do dirty rice.
You Louisiana folk, it's strange.
Right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I Southern cuisine from my family for the most part, so that's kind of what I grew up
Right.
But
yeah, you see, New Orleans cuisine is not quite Southern cuisine. It's very different. And on top of it, we're like New Orleans Italian. So that's like a whole different level.
Okay. Well, everybody seems in for the recipe swap, so let's look at that.
We're gonna have to do that.
Let's talk about
But
that.
we'll figure out how to make that happen, and that would be fun. I love to cook. I love to share recipes, so I will totally do that.
Let's do it. If I make a few extra things for Thanksgiving, my dad will be really happy. So
hey.
He'll be like, yes.
Well, and I'm actually into historical cooking. So some of the recipes, in fact, the turkey recipe that I use for my Thanksgiving turkey is from colonial America. A little bit after the time of typical Ren fairs, the particular time frame that this recipe is from.
Yeah, more restoration.
Yep, pretty much.
But before we were a country, but after there were pilgrims, yes.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, no, I actually enjoy doing a lot of historical cooking. It's one of my weird little hobbies. I do a lot of historical crafts as well. Andrew can attest to that. Yeah, y'all saw me carving the other day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She is a very, very good cook.
Yep. It's my thing, or one of my things.
Oh my God, we are closing in on 2 hours.
Oh dang.
Okay. Now, for the record, everyone, this is true. It's her fault. I never do this alone. So this is evidence now that she's the only variable that's changed other than my really awesome graphics. So it's her fault. Yes.
Yeah. How about we share blame on this one?
I'll take 25%. That's as high as I'll go.
No. I'm going 50-50. And I think that's a generous offer. Take it or leave it.
What? 60-40? 60-40 maybe?
Take it or leave it.
60-40?
No, 50-50.
Okay, I won't go 60%. You go 40. We'll go 50-50. That's fine. You don't want me to take most of the blame. That's your business. So it's not my fault.
You were going 60-40.
She said it wasn't my fault. She insisted.
I was being super generous.
It's okay. So 50-50. Fine. Equal blame.
Being super generous with that 50-50.
But no, Kristen's right. It's time. We've been pushing this way too long. We're just having a good time.
What was that? I had to scroll back a little. You guys chat a lot. Janine asked if I spatchcock my birds. I actually don't. I've done it in the past. It's just not my personal preference. But I do cook my birds with both red wine and sage. Comes out really good.
Okay. Y'all have to realize that telling us it's time to go and asking her about cooking are not compatible
It's not a
concepts.
good idea.
That's like saying, you really need to go. By the way, tell me the history of the world right now. That's really what you're asking.
Yeah. Oh, and thanks, Cameron. By the way, Cameron, I miss you. I hope I get to see you again soon.
Excellent. Okay, well, let's go ahead and call it here
Okay, yeah, we're gonna
before
call it.
somebody
We're gonna
else
call
asks
it.
a question.
But you know, we are going to have like let's because I see a couple other people in these comments talking about they have some historical recipes. Maybe we need to do like a whole recipe swap live thing.
We should.
We'll do
put
something
that together
close to
closer
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Maybe we can do that the Monday of Thanksgiving week, or maybe we should do it the week before, just so people have time to actually get the recipes and go shopping.
Yeah, we need to do it a little earlier. But yeah, that we could do something like that. That sounds like a great idea. I'd love that.
Definitely.
Yeah, now that we have a show that is the longest show we've ever done for ourselves.
Ever.
This is the longest Life's a Faire show that was self-produced. We did for ourselves. We've done longer for other people, but
we
ourselves, yeah, this is the longest.
I think I don't know. I think there was one other time that I was on the show with you that we went pretty long. I don't know if it was this long. I can't. Yeah. Well, and like Kathy said, it makes up for the Thursday we're taking off.
I mean, even the podcast with the Bedlam Bards, I split in two, so it wasn't this long.
That's true. That is true. By the way, if you have not listened to those episodes, you do yourself a favor and go back and listen to them. They were pretty early on. They're amazing. I learned so many mind-blowing things about the Bedlam Bards in those interviews. Like that's why we couldn't edit it down. It was just like,
and that's my weakness. If something's interesting, I'll let it keep going. So.
They're like, seriously, I've personally listened to those episodes at least 3 times each, just because they were so fascinating.
But okay, so let's go ahead and end it here and say goodbye, everyone. It's been a wonderful evening, and we maybe enjoy the podcast tomorrow, and we may be off on Thursday, but Shakespeare Reviews on Friday, and we'll see you soon. Take care and have a fair life.